Hi everybody, this tutorial is presented from knowledgefunder.com. Today I am going to show you how to add digits of a number in C programming. Okay, open your gedit, save the file as .c extension. Okay, suppose the file name is add digit .c. okay, save it, then hash include studio.h int main Now we have to declare some variable. For example, a variable n for the input provided by the user, that is the number, and we have to store the sum. So we require a variable, we require another variable, let's say sum. Okay, for now if we require further variable declaration, we will do it later. Okay, so we have to show a message to the user. So printf enter an integer number to display the sum of its digit. Suppose this is the message. So from this message it is clear that we have to enter a digit, we have to enter a number which obviously contains digits more than one. Okay. Then you always should remember one thing, that every C statements end with semicolon. If you forget this one, you may get some error. Okay, so scanf %d ampersand n. So whatever the user will enter, this value will be stored in n, this variable, and this is the format specifier. Why this is %d? Because the variable is integer, that is why it is %d. Okay, now we have to add all the digits in this number. For that we have to use a loop. Suppose the number provided by the user in n is equal to 123. So what we have to do, we have to separate individual digits and add them. So one thing we can do, if we divide this, if we modulus this number with 10, every time we will get a remainder. For example, for the first time we will get 3 as the remainder and 12 as the and 12 as the quotient. Okay, for the next iteration or for the next loop we will get 2 as the remainder and 1 as the quotient, and for the last loop we will get the the remainder as 1 and the quotient as 0. So from this we can say that we have to use a loop. In this case I am using while loop. We can use for loop or do while loop, for loop instead of while loop. So the condition is while n greater than 0. I have other video tutorials on loop. For more details about loop, such as while loop or for loop, you can see those videos. Okay, so we have to keep the remainders so that we can later add them. So for that we require another variable. Suppose the variable name is remainder, RAM. Okay, then RAM is equal to n modulus 10. This is the modulus operator. This means that every time it will give the remainder. Suppose n is, in this case I have considered n as 123. So for the first round it will give 3 as the remainder, and the 3 will be stored in this variable. Okay, so now we will add those remainders and store those remainders and store the addition in this sum variable. So sum is equal to sum plus remainder. Here you can see that sum I have not initialized the variable. That means I did not store any values to this variable. So in C, if we do not assign any values to a variable, it contains garbage values. Garbage values, it may be any values. So what will happen if we don't assign 0 to this variable? So if we don't assign 0 to this variable, what will happen? Whatever value it contains, it will add with the remainder and store the result in sum. So we will not get the perfect result or appropriate result. So now we have to initialize the sum variable as 0. Okay, so what will happen? 0 plus whatever the remainder, this will be added and stored in sum variable. Okay, so here n, suppose 1123. So after this operation, still n is equal to 123, but here I have the condition that n is always greater than 0. So I have to reduce n, and every time I will store the quotient in this variable. So gradually it will be decreased and it will become less than 0, or it may be 0. When 0 greater than 0, that is also false. So the loop will terminate. Okay. So n is equal to n divided by 10. Clear? Okay. So this loop will continue till n becomes 0 or less than 0. Okay. So after the termination of the loop, we will get the output or get the result in this variable sum. So we can display, or we can print the result. The sum of the digit equal to %d. That is sum. Okay. Return 0. Okay, that's all. Save it and execute it. So compile the program. gcc add digit.c -o add digit. Okay, so run the file, add digit. So enter an integer to display the sum of its digit. Suppose I have entered 123. So you can see that the sum of the digit is equal to 6. Therefore 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 plus 3, 6. Okay. Thank you.